When you ask people what they know about the Dominican Republic, they'll talk about the resorts and beaches and all the tourism, or they'll mention baseball and all the stars that have come out of it. Some may have knowledge of its rich history. But one thing that is not well known about the Dominican is that it's a place where joy and struggle meet, where vibrant smiles often hide deep needs, where souls are longing for hope and truth, where the harvest is great, and where many are still waiting to hear about the love of Christ. The Dominican Republic is where God has placed my heart. Hello, we're the Pape family, missionaries returning to the Dominican Republic. My wife and I have been serving in full-time Christian service for over 20 years now, and God has allowed us to serve in many different areas and capacities. But God burdened my heart for the people of the DR that eventually became a calling on my life. As assistant pastor at my church, I was the coach of the high school baseball team, and we had many Dominican baseball players that lived in the area and became part of our baseball team, and God knit my heart to those players and their families. In 2011, our church had a missions conference where God stirred my heart and opened my eyes and the possibility for missions. And it was then when God dealt with me about going to the Dominican Republic as a missionary. When God called us to the DR, it was a very specific calling. I remember hearing a testimony of a project that was launched years ago that highlighted not only the need of the northern region of the Dominican, but also a great opportunity to have an impact for Christ in that area. That there were towns all over the northern shore and in that region that were without a solid gospel preaching church. And it's very much like what the Apostle Paul said to the Corinthian church, how that a great door and effectual was opened unto him. And God used all of that to call us to that region. We arrived in the Dominican in 2014 and began working in the capital, Santo Domingo, with a couple different missionary families and 2 different churches over the span of 3 years before launching out and starting our first church. In January of 2018, we moved along with the Polanco family to the town of Nagua to start North Coast Baptist Church. We started with about 20 children in our driveway. We were able to rent a storefront to meet on Sundays and Wednesdays. And today, North Coast Baptist Church is a thriving church with their own building. At the end of 2018, our attention had to be turned to the needs of our children. And so after counseling with our pastor and the leadership of BIMI, we returned to our home church and began serving along with them. In that first year back home, God opened up new areas of ministry. Then at the end of 2019, God opened a new door for service, where I was led to be the pastor of Victory Baptist Church in Mechanicsville, Maryland. Over the last 5 years, God has allowed us to see several saved and baptized and added to the church. We've started 2 van routes that pick up families every week. The missions program is thriving and the families of the church are strong. We're very thankful for the time God has allowed us to serve in this community. But over the last year and a half, God has made it clear to us that the time has come for us to rejoin the work in the DR. We're excited to partner once again with the Polanco family. We will be assisting in the ministries of North Coast Baptist Church, starting a Bible Institute, training national pastors and leaders, and helping to start new churches in the surrounding areas. We are so excited to rejoin this great work.
Hey everyone, Jeffrey Polanco here, missionary church planner serving in Northern Dominican Republic. I've been serving the Lord there now for 8 years, and I was one of those baseball players that got saved through the baseball ministry that Brother Chad Pape had back in 2005. And in the past 20 years that I have known the Pape family, I have watched them be faithful to God and stay devoted to the cause of Christ. And most importantly, I have seen them have a passion for soul. No matter where God's will took them, whether they were on the mission field or if they had to come back to the States, they were constantly serving and reaching people with the gospel of Jesus Christ. And we are so excited that they're coming back to the Dominican Republic and that they're going to help us plant more churches in the northern region of the Dominican Republic that is so needy.
Please pray for God's protection and provision for our family and for the work in the Dominican as well. The Bible says that the harvest truly is great and the laborers are few. Would you pray about financially supporting the work? And also, would you pray about what God's role for you would be in the work in the Dominican Republic? Thank you so much, and may God richly bless you.